broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist. With over 30 years of technology expertise, our co-host Mike Day is in studio today and is the award-winning author and our human behavior expert and our not-so-most positive on AI. That's what I'll just say. Mike has not really found an AI that he likes yet, right? Is that correct?
I have found uses for AI that I like, but not
an AI that you like. Okay, all right. Now, we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and Blue Sky. You need to get a streaming service. Listen to me right now. Blue Sky, get a streaming service so we don't have to be doing anything on X and we can move over and help your platform grow. Now, if you'd like to visit us online, you can do that at techtimeradio.com, and you can also become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/TechTime Radio. We're friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, welcome to Tech Time Radio. On the show today, Google just made a move that might leave some of your smart thermostats, well, not very smart any longer. Meanwhile, Nick Espinosa is back unraveling a Russian security hack with a little side of DOGE. That's right, he's got some information about that. Seriously. Then, WhatsApp is rolling out an advanced chat privacy feature. But let's just say it's not so advanced and it might not be what you think. Netflix is ditching distracting sounds in subtitles, so say goodbye to the anonymous music swell or the man picks up the phone and hello to just dialogue. And we have a job candidate who put on her best face forward. Literally, we're going to be talking about a video interview that may have gone a little awry. And Microsoft sends Adobe emails into the spam abyss. Was this on purpose? So one of their competitors was being filtered on their email servers and automatically being sent to the delete item.
Sure.
Was that an accident? It was an AI thing? We're going to talk.
Everything is an accident.
There you go. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later in the show. In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, a possible Nathan nugget. Absolutely. It's a Nathan rant, but there you go. And of course, our pick of the day, whiskey tasting, to see if our selected pick of the day gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. And again, I'm trying to be hypercritical. But let me just tell you, the whiskey we had last week on the show, the Elijah Craig, I went out and I actually bought bottles of that from Wines and More. So let me just tell you, my local Wines and More, no more in stock. You cannot get it because I went and I may have bought 8 bottles that were in the store.
So much for a discerning palate.
Well, there you go. Now, let's move on to the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, it's no secret that Gen Z is reshaping the workforce. However, the unusual way one young woman presented herself during a job interview has left some wondering. Let's go to Lisa Walker for more on this story.
Aidan Kramer, the CEO and co-founder of AI Apply, a platform leveraging artificial intelligence to assist job seekers in interview preparation, recently discussed one of his candidate interviews in a TikTok video that has gained over 1 million views. In the video, Kramer joins a video call with the candidate, Julia, who appears to be using a filter to obscure her face. She selected a filter that turns her face into a breakfast plate. Instead of conversing with an eager job seeker, Kramer finds himself speaking with a humorous animated plate of eggs and toast. The only visible parts of Julia are her eyes, which peek out from the eggs, and her mouth, which is obscured by the toast. Kramer tells Julia, "Nice to meet you. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a bit of animation on your face. She replies that she's unwell and asks Kramer, is it okay if I don't show my face? Back to you guys in the studio.
Oh, okay, Mike. So Julia explains that she's not feeling well.
Yeah,
she's in an interview process.
Julia's
what?
She's clout hunting.
Okay, all right. So Julia is essentially, it's a overlay of breakfast. It is absolutely not professional.
Yeah,
it's not
even
even
a cat thing.
It's not a cat thing where a poor lawyer has a filter on. He doesn't know how to take care of it. I mean, it is just crazy. She asks the interviewer, is it okay if I don't show my face? And he responds with, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to conduct the interview with this. It's not very professional. Is there a chance you could turn this off? Instead of turning off the filter, Julia then offers to change it. And within seconds, she transforms into a strawberry instead of the plate that's there. And then she says, is this better? Now, the TikTok ends there before Kramer has a chance to respond. Although we're unable to see what Julia really looks like, Kramer included this in his TikTok hashtag, and it's now on all the other social medias with hashtag Gen Z in his caption, hinting at her age. Now, in the comment sections underneath this TikTok and underneath all the social media, users weigh in. Some of them say that it was an untraditional video filter, but that they think that she should be able to do that. Other people say that this is not professional. She should be equipped with knowing how to use video conferencing. But some other people even praised her, saying that they should be at my company in management. So a job interviewer has this filter, goes through. I know what I would say, but I'm going to ask you just, Mike, since we're talking about this. Isn't that like an immediate disqualification? I mean,
that would be for me, unless I'm running some sort of.
Well, he has an AI company, but it's not creative. It's not creative.
I don't even need to hear that, but unless he's running some sort of creative company that would encourage that kind of behavior, no. You shouldn't come. I wouldn't have even asked her the question. I would have just said, goodbye, click.
Thank you. Well, so it's very interesting because on the feedback that we're getting, a lot of the Gen Z people say that that it shouldn't be based upon looks. It shouldn't be based upon anything that's going on. It should be based upon the qualifications. And clearly, she must have been qualified to get the owner of the company to come in through an interview, and that we shouldn't be judging people about a presentation of looks on the interview
all right.
process.
So I can understand some of that, but the problem is that she's using like a filter of a ham and eggs breakfast.
Yeah.
To try and connect with this person. Okay, so she needs to show her face because on a video call, that's the only way you can see expressions, and that's the only way that you can really communicate human to human.
Okay.
You can't communicate human to ham and eggs or strawberry. Sorry.
Okay.
So all those people that are praising her for that,
yeah,
you guys are morons.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Odie, I'm going to go to you because you're our younger demographic here. All right. What do you think about this filter for a job interview?
Was it specifically for a job interview, or I thought it was?
I think she was just clout chasing, is what I think.
So it was a job interview. It was listed as a job interview. Ham and eggs.
It's not appropriate, but I applaud her for trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Why?
Because it really, at the end of the day, depending on, I have no idea what the job entails.
It's an AI, and neither do us. It's just an AI company.
So if she's not coming into work every day, or if it's fully remote, why would it matter what she looks like?
Okay.
It's not about what she looks like. It's not about what she looks like, though. It's about if she were going to be doing
I understand the whole presentation.
If she were going to do an in-person interview,
right,
she wouldn't be coming in with a mask on her face.
Yeah, there's some points.
Yes.
You're
okay. Right. I know. I'm pretty easygoing with a lot of stuff, but there's just things that just grind my gears, and this is one of them.
All right. Well, it has been updated that she did not get the job.
Oh.
There you go.
No way.
Yeah, no
Dang
job.
it.
No job for her. All right, story number 2. Now, you're pretty excited about this, and I have some different opinions on this.
Why
so
am
here
I
we go.
saying? Oh, wait.
All right, here we go.
We're going to be talking about Netflix and
Okay.
their continued awesomeness.
All right, okay, what do we got going on here?
Netflix is rolling out new dialogue-only subtitles option, which means, when you're watching something with subtitles, I don't know if how do you feel about things like phone buzzing and things that tell you
I
what's
can't
going
stand
on?
subtitles. I'm
that's
an
right.
anti-subtitle
Yeah, you're
guy.
an anti.
I can't stand subtitles
because you're
at
not
all.
deaf yet.
All right, so I had to go see the movie Dances with Wolves, and I had to read like half of that, and I'm like, I'm not going to a movie theater to read a book. That was my take on it. Now, I have changed my mind because
Maybe
I did
you
saw
should
the
have
new.
a ham and eggs filter.
I did change my mind when I saw the new Godzilla movie, where it was all subtitles that were
How
in there.
can you change your mind from it?
'Cause that was
it
actually-
was Godzilla and not Dances with Wolves.
Well, that
Is
was actually a good story plot, and so I don't know. So okay, continue
Okay.
on. What do we got going on with this feature?
Anyway, okay, so Netflix is taking out these little noise descriptions such as phone buzzing or dramatic music swells, unless you want to see them. If you got easily distracted by reading subtitles of noise descriptions like car engine revs up or crowd shouts, Netflix has a new subtitle option for you, which is just dialogue only. The streaming video company announced the change on Thursday. The new format drops subtitles for sound as well as the names of who's speaking. Currently, the new subtitle option is only available in English and only for new Netflix original titles. Began last week with season 5 of You, a popular Netflix original thriller. If you need or prefer to see the subtitles with speaker names and sound descriptions, select English CC in your Netflix settings. If you want the dialogue only option, you'll select English. You can customize the size of your font of your subtitles and choose from other language, but only English will have a new version for now.
All right,
Play pensive music now.
okay. So, are you excited about this?
Not- yeah,
You said that you were pretty excited.
I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, everything is getting way too complicated. I don't even know when all these little sounds went into dialogue
Okay.
or into.
The closed captioning.
Closed captioning,
I don't know
because
because I have old.
I've been watching things in closed captions for years, and I know this is not something that they started out doing, but I know that when they do it, I really just
phone being.
I
People shouting in the-
rip on it all
Do
the
you
time.
really?
Yeah, because it's like pensive music and
But don't
that's
you
one of
play
my
music in
favorites.
your?
That's
in
one of
your
my
head?
favorite. Well, I don't think musics have emotions, so if I'm watching this and I think I'm hard of hearing right now. I'm old.
Yeah.
I partied too much when I was young.
Okay.
And I see pensive music, I'm going like, what would that actually sound like? And how do I know that it's pensive? How do I know the music is pensive?
So you're saying that with your all of your degrees, you're analyzing the actual characteristics of the closed captioning?
Yeah, I'm ripping on them. I'm ripping on them. I'm like, I don't need to know. I don't need to know that the music is emotional.
Okay.
I don't need to know that there's thunder in the background when I can see the lightning on the screen. And
Okay.
so, for me,
I want to
would
be in your
probably
head
take
for one
a-
of these movies.
You
This
don't.
would be-
You don't want to be in my head, period, because you get lost in a lot of stuff.
Okay, I would probably. All right. No Nest for you. There's kind of a Seinfeld. takeoff.
for you.
All right. Google announced it will end software updates and remote control support for the first and second generation Nest Learning thermostats, plus the 2014 European models, starting October 25th. You'll no longer be able to control them remotely from your phone or with Google Assistant. You can adjust the temperature and modify schedules directly on the thermostat like they have had forever.
So you have
The
to
company-
get out of your chair.
You got to
Is
get
that
out of
right?
your chair. In other significant news, Google is flatly stating that it has no plans to release additional Nest thermostats in Europe, and the older Nest products will soon be retiring. Why do you need a thermostat for more than 5 to 6 years anyways? That's what Google's kind of saying to you. Don't you just put a thermostat in your house and you expect it to go out in 5 years and then you get another thermostat and another thermostat and another thermostat?
Well, maybe they Googled it. Maybe that's what they figured out is that there was.
So thermostats last forever, right? My parents had a thermostat in their house. That was the one and only, and it would regulate the heaters and take care of everything. Then they came out with the smart. That's supposed to adjust based upon how the room is to keep it climate controlled. But now I guess Google says, too much time on that. We're deciding to get rid of it.
Is it have anything to do with that, or does Google have some problem with Europe?
Well, no. So here's what it is. This is our Mike's mesmerizing moment. So I don't want to blow it. So I'm going to ask you a question on this. But we're getting into this obsolete era where we just have stuff and we buy it and we don't ever own it, or we just use it for 5 years and then we throw it away.
We're turning into a
Harbor Freight Tools is what I call it.
Harbor Freight Tools.
Harbor Freight Tools. I buy a tool at Harbor Freight, and then the last 5 years, you throw it away. You go back to Harbor Freight, and you buy another tool for 5 years. It's kind of the same type of deal.
Yeah, we're becoming a rent economy. We're becoming a quietly feudal society again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. When we return, Nick Espinoza from Security Fanatics will join us, talking about cybercrime that you're going to need to worry about, and privacy invasion, and is AI going to take over the world? Nick is going to be the Nostradamus of everything in our tech information world as we have it coming on up. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you after the commercial break.
Looking for custom glass solutions for your next commercial project? Hartung Glass Industries is your trusted partner in custom glass fabrication. For over 100 years, Hartung has delivered proven manufacturing expertise, comprehensive product offerings, and dependable service and quality. From energy-efficient facades to custom shower doors, we create glass solutions tailored to your project needs. With 8 facilities across the U.S. and Canada, we combine national expertise with a local touch-ensuring faster service and unparalleled customer care. Hartung Glass Industries, where quality meets innovation. Visit hartungglass.com to learn more.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, our weekly show without a political agenda. We verify the facts and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes, and of course, a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is in studio today. We had this whiskey, and I took my first sip, and I was like, and then I took my second sip, and I'm like, So what do we have that we're tasting today, sir?
Today is Benchmark Full Proof. Now, this is from Buffalo Trace's website. They say this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is bottled at the same proof that it enters the barrel. Bold and robust, this 125 proof whiskey is meant to be sipped and savored. The scent of deep brown sugar and chocolate are followed by the bold taste of caramel and bacon spice. The finish is long and rich. Now, this is released from Sazerac Company. It's from the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. It's a straight bourbon. They're usually aged about 4 years old, 125 proof. The mash bill is undisclosed. Now, the MSRP on this is $23, but you can see from the sticker on the front, I was able to pick this up for $17.
$17.
This is definitely a Nathan one.
This
has a screw top,
but it doesn't have. It has a screw top instead of a cork top.
Doesn't matter.
And what's the proof of this?
125.
I was gonna say I got a shot. It was a man. This is like the brown bag. This is the value brown bag. Guy goes on in and buys some alcohol and wants it to last forever and get a little bit tipsy on it. This is your value
is that your rating scale today?
It may be.
Okay.
It's not bad though.
Keep drinking it. It gets better and better.
It's not
Really? Now, so is this on your shelf at home?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Oh, I'm liking this a lot. All right.
Now, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Drink responsibly, especially when you're drinking 125 proof.
Yeah, no kidding.
Heaven can wait.
All right. Well, Mark, thank you so much. With our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment. Today, our technology expert, Nick Espinoza, is joining the show. Nick is an expert in cybersecurity and network infrastructure. That whiskey's getting to me already. He has consulted with clients ranging from small business to the Fortune 100 level. In 1998, at the age of 19, Nick founded Windy City Networks, which was later acquired in 2015. He then created Security Fanatics, where he's the chief security fanatic. We welcome Nick to the Comcast video stream to start our next segment.
Welcome to the segment we call Ask the Experts. with our TechTime Radio expert, Nick Espinoza.
All right, Nick, where are you coming from? Tell all of our listeners where you're coming from today.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, I believe my new term is now Nerdstradamus.
Nerdstradamus,
So
you like that?
Nerdstradamus.
I like that.
You can refer to me as that now.
Okay.
I am in Chicago, and I'm very happy to be here.
All right, in the Windy City. Well, you tell us a little bit about yourself for all of our new listeners that may be joining the show today for their first time.
Sure. Other than procrastination, I am Nick Espinoza, the chief security fanatic of Security Fanatics. Prognostication, not procrastination, for the record. And we do all things cybersecurity, cyber warfare, cyber terrorism. And as always, it's fun to hang out with you guys.
All right. You know, we love having you on the show. This is our 250th episode. So as we're going through it, so there you go.
Wow.
We're at 250. We'll get
Congrats.
to 300,
That's awesome.
500.
How about
There you go. And so we love having you on the show. Now let's start with a doozy of a story. So I saw this come across my line, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't know. Let's talk about it. So did someone use a Russian IP address, then attempt to access our internal systems at the U.S. National Labor Relations Board using a legitimate account set up by a staff member from the Elon Musk Department of Government Efficiency? Is that true or is that not true? And explain this to us, Nick.
Well, comrade, let's talk about this one, because this is absolutely nuts. Now, these allegations, for the record, and they are allegations, although we now have a lot of people, meaning cybersecurity researchers, that have been looking at this saying, yeah, this is really looking true, just given the evidence that the whistleblower provided. Basically, it's part of an affidavit that was submitted to the Senate Intelligence Committee Chair Tom Cotton. He's a Republican of Arkansas. And then the counterpart on the Democrat side, Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia. And essentially, what we're talking about is an IT engineer at the National Labor Relations Board known as Daniel Baroulis. And essentially, here are the nuts and bolts of this. He is alleging that DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, entered the Washington, D.C. offices of the NLRB in early March. And obviously did it with other high-profile, if you're paying attention to the news, other high-profile agencies, Office of Personnel Management, Treasury were also entered in this way. And according to the affidavit, essentially they accessed things, and this access led to a quote-unquote significant data breach that potentially exposed the NLRB and its data to foreign adversaries. Now, if you recall, during this period, which is like 8 million years ago in news parlance, several news outlets and government employees in those departments had stated that DOGE had quote-unquote chaotic and unsupervised access, and therefore created conditions that essentially caused greater risk for some type of incident or breach. And so here we are. The most concerning allegation made is that those Russian IP addresses were somehow connected to the actions of DOGE employees, and the access attempts, for the record, were blocked. They were blocked, but those access attempts provided valid credentials that happened shortly after the accounts were created by DOGE staffers. In other words, they had a valid username and password for a DOGE staffer, and it was coming from the Russian IP address. So how did the Russians get an actual legitimate login to the Department of Government Efficiency? So that is going to be the question here. And obviously it's still unraveling. We're going to see what happens if the Senate Intelligence Committee does anything about it. That's absolutely insane. And crazy times we're living in.
All right. Hopefully that whistleblower is still around in the next 6 months to still be able to be a part of it.
I don't know.
I
I'm
hope
just
so
going to
too.
drink more
Yeah.
bourbon.
Was that?
I'm just
Yeah.
going to drink more
You're
bourbon.
going to drink more bourbon. All right, Nick. Well,
That's why you have me on. I'm
that's
your
right.
excuse. I'm your excuse to drink.
after.
You know, it's weird because I love having you on the show, Nick, but I hate everything that comes out of your mouth.
Oh,
So,
no.
well, I will say this. Godzilla -1, to
Yeah.
Nathan's point, amazing movie. Go see it.
That's right. That's right.
Unbelievable.
just for the dialogue, right?
Well, no, you can read it. I mean, it's much better than Dances with Wolves. Let me just tell you that.
Don't,
All right.
don't
Okay.
even
It was
get me
fantastic.
started.
All right. Okay.
It was
Nick, explain to our
fantastic.
audience why WhatsApp's new advanced chat privacy may not be all that it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, so WhatsApp, owned by Facebook, aka Meta, is an absolute hot mess. But real quick, here are the features that they're telling us that they're putting into WhatsApp, and it's straight out of the Signal playbook, not just for war plans anymore. You can block others from exporting chats now, auto-downloading media to their phone. You can block that using messages for AI features, and they said they're working on adding more features. But here's why the whole thing is pointless. Because there are still a zillion ways, one, to extract sensitive data out of WhatsApp. You know, you can take pictures of stuff, but the biggest sin is that basically this is all security and privacy theater. It's all fake for the most part. And here's why. Because Meta, aka Facebook, owns WhatsApp, and they have been basically using WhatsApp to train artificial intelligence, and they've been doing it for years. Meaning they're reading all of your messages.
Yep.
They're claiming end-to-end encryption and all of that. Mike, get your booze out. Like it's not really private. Now, in 2019, Facebook began incorporating AI algorithms within WhatsApp to improve content moderation so they can see everything basically that you're doing. I actually did a video and podcast back in 2019 and got thousands of views on WhatsApp because people don't know this stuff. In 2021, ProPublica did an article on this as well. And essentially they showed that, and I quote, the complaint which ProPublica obtained details WhatsApp's extensive use of outside contractors, artificial intelligence, and account information to examine user messages, images, and videos. So they're giving you all this stuff with your users when like thousands of people and an AI can see everything you're doing in their secure messaging app. It's an absolute joke.
And then Meta ends up selling the information to the government anyways. So it's, I mean, it's so it's just all, it's just,
or trying to peddle it off to was it the Russians or was it China?
Chinese
bending over backwards. That was an amazing expose, by the way, in that book.
Yeah,
great read.
All right, well, we're going to continue on with AI. Good old AI. You know what? OpenAI is being leveraged now for spam and also bypassing things like the CAPTCHA filters. Now, I like some CAPTCHA filters. Other ones, they just bug the hell out of me. You know, they got the crossword E that's kind of through a T, and you have to type it in like 8 times, and it still doesn't get it done right.
Oh, I like the picture ones where
you like the picture ones.
I hate those where you have find the crosswalk signs.
Oh, you don't like the cross?
I hate those.
They got some new ones that are coming on out. But okay, so everybody knows what CAPTCHAs are. If you've done anything, you've had to do one of those, and you've had to at least put in the password 3 times. What's going on with OpenAI leveraging this?
Yeah, so it's not OpenAI. OpenAI is being leveraged by some jerk or jerks that basically created something they're calling Akira bot. And this Akira bot has successfully bypassed spam filter detection. It's basically delivering AI-generated messages to the tune of over 80,000 websites in just 4 months. So it's 20,000 websites basically a month that this thing is hitting, and it's prolific, and it's bypassing all this stuff, thanks in part to OpenAI. So AkiraBot, just for the record, is a framework that exploits contact forms on a website, live chat widgets, all this kind of stuff, and it's targeting small to mid-sized businesses. But unlike traditional spam tools that rely on things like repetitive templates, AkiraBot uses OpenAI's basically chat API, thing like ChatGPT that you can connect to generate unique messages tailored to the targeted website. So in other words, you're not spamming 20,000 sites with the same message. You're saying, oh, it's Bob's Widgets. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about Bob's Widgets, and OpenAI's ChatGPT will create that content for me so I look more natural, thus tripping up all of the filters. And so it's crafting this personalized content using that site-specific detail. Like our wonderful sponsor, Hard Tongue Glass, it would start talking about glass that it potentially needed or wanted to sell or whatever. Right? It can even simulate legitimate browsing behavior as well, along with scripts to manipulate attributes. So it can start changing things like a human would change things in the browser, and that trips up those intelligent systems that are looking for those bots and that spam. And then it gets past basically the CAPTCHAs like HCAPTCHA, reCAPTCHA, because it can mimic user behavior. So here we are. And they also are proxying this thing around the world. So it's not coming from one IP address and God knows where they're doing this thing. It's really sophisticated, and it's just reinventing how we are looking at essentially identity as people are hitting websites. It's absolutely crazy.
It is. I love the OpenAI because for my Farmville game I play on my PC, it created a script for me.
Farmville?
Yeah. Have you ever played that game?
Like
15 years ago on Facebook?
Like in 2002.
Still exists. But what it can do is you can actually have OpenAI create a script for you, so you can keep on mining everything while you're not actually.
I feel like that's right up your alley.
Okay,
I think that's
Nathan. Are you like big agri now in Farmville?
That's right.
You've been playing it for that long that you own 8,000 farms.
Yeah, that in Ebony. Do you remember the old?
I remember that
Ebony game. Yeah,
you probably own the whole world. Of
that's right. Yeah. Okay, there you go. All right. Nick's like, wow, you guys are really old. And speaking of old, wait till you do our flashback of the day when we go back to something old. I actually have an actual show and tell event. All right. Perplexity AI. We talked about them a couple times on our show already because they're the ones that actually have made a bid to purchase TikTok. They want to be worse than Google and Facebook, combining with all that has been uncovered. What is this story breaking here, Nick, about this?
Yeah. So just in a nutshell, real quick, is essentially their CEO said this past week in a podcast that essentially what they want to do is build their own web browser, to compete with like Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox and all of that. And the reason why they want to do that is to collect data on absolutely everything that you do outside of their app as well, because we're all using web browsers to go wherever we're going. And so their CEO, Aravind Srinivas, basically says and believes that Perplexity's browser would be basically fine. Like the users would be fine using this because the ads would be that relevant.
So the ads would be, because it have everything from me, everything that I'd ever do search on the web. It knows about Chase Bank that I have. It knows about this. It knows about this since I'm in the browser using it. Since it knows everything, it'll be a tailored AI ad for me. So I'll be so happy to spend more money.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
You can't wait?
It's going to follow me into the bathroom and like find out what kind of toilet paper I have and throw it at me.
It's, I mean, think about it. It's not just turning data mining up to like 11. We're going to 12 here on this one, and if you think about it, like if you like underwater basket weaving at a furry convention, they're going to find that for you.
They're going to find the furry to come on out and sell you a brand new.
Right.
I thought I was safe.
Uh-oh, Mike's in trouble now.
Nuts.
I excel at underwater basket weaving.
Are you sure? Or are you more into the furry stuff? I don't know. Okay. All right. So Perplexity AI is going to do that. So now you have Brave browser and you have Perplexity AI. Are they going to actually maybe pay you or give you some strange token or something like that so that they make you then jump on and want to use their browser? Do you know anything about that, Nick? How are they going to incentivize me to not give all my information to Google anymore, but now to give it to them?
Right. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do know the browser is Comet. They're calling it Comet. It's supposed to launch in May.
Okay.
And like Brave, they may have a crypto incentive to do something along those lines. I think the interesting thing is going to be really what happens with Google.
Okay.
In the sense that Google right now is going,
breaking up
anti-monopoly stuff against smallest violin there for Larry and Sergey.
Yep.
But if they have to spin off Chrome per a court order, Perplexity, OpenAI, and even Yahoo, they're still around. Everybody basically said, we'll buy Chrome, right? We want Chrome, we'll buy Chrome, we'll take Chrome. And so Perplexity may ditch the product if they can successfully purchase Chrome, which is probably doing all of that anyway. And Google just came out also and said, oh yeah, we're not getting rid of all these traditional tracking cookies. So Chrome continues to be a privacy nightmare, that was supposed to be getting better. And Google said, no, we're not going to make it better.
Yeah, now you're having all these anti-lawsuits where screw it. We're going to get as much information as we can.
Yeah.
This will make you feel good. Do you remember?
You
remember the old days with Netscape and Microsoft?
Do you remember the old days when we didn't have the internet and we had lives?
Dial-up?
We didn't even. I'm not even talking about dial-up.
Okay.
I mean, there was a peace of mind that we're just now figuring out that we had back then.
Yeah, you know what? They make computers.
Social media.
Actually,
you're right.
It wasn't the computers that were the problem. It was social media. They really killed it.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's go. Let's that guy that started MySpace.
MySpace? You're gonna go back to MySpace? I still have a MySpace account.
Yeah,
I still have a MySpace account. Those were the days. Or your geosites. You remember geosites?
Oh, I remember geosites.
Okay. All right, Nick. All right. So how do we wrap all this up? What
drink?
I know. What is a good thing in cybersecurity? Is there any positive news you can share with our people before we get all about how they can contact you? Any positive news here?
We might have a nationwide power outage that'll stop hacking for 24 hours.
so next positive thing is that
that sounds good to me. I need some sleep.
Sounds relaxing to me.
Have you seen the Netflix show 0 Day?
No, I've not.
So it's not.
And to be fair, I haven't seen Mr. Robot either.
Okay, so 0 Day, it's okay, but as a computer guy, you're gonna be like, oh, that can't really happen, and that can't really happen. But you should watch it because essentially, all of the world shuts down for like 30 seconds to a minute, and somebody in the United States captures this, and it's kind of Robert De Niro does an okay job. He's getting a little older in the tooth, but it's a pretty decent story. He's a former president, so Netflix. 0 day.
Did
not
you use
not
the
as good as.
dialogue only stuff?
Was that?
Did you use the dialogue only?
No, I didn't read it.
I'll check it out. I am watching a show called Upload, though, that is beyond amusing.
That's a good
That
one.
is a
Yeah,
good-
I
that
like
is-
that one.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, how can people get in touch with you after the show? Maybe they need a cybersecurity analysis and that you guys and your company provides that, or they want to have you as a guest speaker, or maybe they just want to
Liquor recommendations.
or liquor. Yeah, okay. Where can they find out more information and contact with you?
Yeah. And for the record, I may be a Debbie Downer in business, but I am fun at parties. Just letting everybody know
that's
that right there.
there you go. Okay.
Feel free to invite me. Don't ask me about my job. But you can follow me at Nick A ESP on Twitter, aka X Blue Sky, all that. LinkedIn /Nick Espinoza, YouTube /Nick Espinoza. Please come say hi. I love hanging out. So
perfect. All right, Nick. Nick, thank you so much for
Thanks,
being a part
Nick.
of the show. It's always a pleasure to
Thank
talk
you.
with you. Now we want to thank him very much, and we're going to move right on to our
We love you,
Mike's mesmerizing
thanks, guys.
moments.
Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today?
All right, Mike, here's my questions.
A lot of crap is what Mike has to say.
All right, so let's talk about buying hardware devices, buying computers. Then companies just decide to stop supporting them. Is this going to be a continuous trend?
Yes.
And
Why wouldn't it be?
should this be for home devices now and computers and iPhones? Should there be a way where a company makes their product obsolete by no longer supporting it?
Should there be?
Or should there be?
Well, they do it because they're going to force you into the next iteration of whatever they're trying to put out.
Okay.
It's all like arm twist marketing is what it shapes up to be.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just starting to, I must be getting older. I'm starting to get a little bit more curmudgeon in this, where I am not okay when I buy something and then 5 years later, you're telling me you're no longer going to support it. I either have to buy the newest version or I'm just out of luck.
well, I just, anytime I buy, I had to buy a brand new cell phone yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because mine died after, actually it's been about 6 years, 7
Okay,
years.
so
So it hung on for quite a bit, but
Okay.
I buy it and I know I'm going to have to replace this thing in 2 or 3 years.
What did you buy? Did you buy an Apple device?
No,
Was
no,
it,
it's an Android.
Okay.
It's a Galaxy
Okay.
S25.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So you're going to have to replace it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but I know that's what's going to happen. Every time I buy a new laptop or every time I buy it even comes down to when I buy movies.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm
If you buy
only
them
gonna-
digitally, you don't even own
yeah,
them.
if I don't own that movie, but I own the right to look at it
While you
until they
purchased
take it away.
Until they take it away.
Yeah, because I know we live in a modern age where we're basically sheep.
We're just sheep.
We're going around getting all this stuff thrown at us, and we can't deal with it because it's too much information. So we just go, okay, we'll do it because I have to. I mean, you have to have these nowadays. $1,000 phones, you have to have them, and you have to upgrade them because they're going to. Sure, it's like when video gaming systems came out. When I heard this, I was thinking that's the first thing that popped in my head. First video game system came out.
Atari 2600.
Yeah, Atari 2600.
Yeah.
2 controllers, 2 games. It had the whole package.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
We wanted more games.
You started getting just the console and the game and 1 controller.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Then now you get a console that doesn't even have a CD player anymore.
Yep,
It's
you get a
little-
console, you get a controller, and then you have to digitally download the games that you're going to purchase.
Yep. It's just.
Did you
changing.
already bring up the fact that Apple came clean about downgrading?
Their battery?
Yeah.
Their battery
After
life.
years.
They absolutely make it so that there's certain updates,
Yeah.
even though the phone
that's
or the
purposeful.
computers
This
can
is-
actually handle that because there's actually tools to do that.
This actually happened back in the 30s when we went into a consumerist society where they were pushing these sort of crappy things that they would put out, so you would have to replace them. This isn't something new. This is like when they were building microwaves.
That's right.
What are you doing over there, Mark?
Well, Mark's over there. Oh, Mark's over there. Okay. Well, he says let's move on. I guess.
I mean, this is consumerism at its modern
101.
modern stuff. Yeah.
But you know what?
Make something that's not going to last because people will have to come back and get more.
And this week in technology, I'm going to talk about something of a company that actually wanted to develop something that would be the last that they ever developed. Oh, look at that. Well, now we're going to go out to a commercial. We're going to go out to a commercial break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on Patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio. Yeah. You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going all the way back to May 4th, 1995. Commodore assets were purchased out of bankruptcy. Now, the German company Eastcom AG purchases the right to the name, patents, and intellectual property of the Commodore Electronics, which was declared bankruptcy in 1994. Now, Commodore was a pioneer in the personal computer industry, holding some impressive records, such as having the best-selling computer in history with the Commodore 64, which the Guinness Book of Records estimated about 30 million units were sold over the course of 10 years. Now, they built a machine from 1982 to 1992, over 10 years, the Commodores, that were all compatible with each other. You didn't have to go and get something new. All of them worked together.
Yeah.
Commodore had the strategy that they were going to be the first computer company to take over the home PC market and be the last.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, the company did make over $1 billion in sales. They also created some of the most innovative computers in the early PC market, such as the first multimedia computer,
Amiga.
The Amiga. You remember the Amiga?
Yeah.
That was like the hybrid video game machine, because the Amiga could play almost all the games were in the arcade at the time. So that came on out. Unfortunately, though, Commodore, like many other PC companies, didn't have the proper management at the top of the company, and all of a sudden a juggernaut by the name of IBM compatible PCs took over the industry and had the Commodore 64 go bankrupt. Now, I'm a
Commodore
collector.
128.
Was that?
I had a Commodore 128.
You had a 128. Yeah, they had the 128 to 64. Now,
I traded a car for a 128. Did I ever tell you that story?
Did you really? You
Yeah,
traded a car?
I traded a car for
a computer?
A computer one. Yeah, Commodore
that's cool.
128.
Well, you always say that I have stuff in my library.
You always have stuff.
And so I just want to let everybody know that I have, of course, a Commodore 64.
You're just bragging.
And I also have the Commodore 64C. Now, this was look at this. This was 3D graphics in the back. The world's best-selling personal computer just got better with Geos and Quantum Link. This had a floppy drive, a mouse, keyboards, floppy disk,
Yeah,
and
look at that 1 1/4 and a 1.5 inch.
I know. And look at that dot matrix printer.
Yeah, that's all.
Wasn't that fantastic?
I miss those days.
Remember the printer head going across?
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah.
Print Smart, any of those type of applications? You like huge banners. Remember you do like huge banners?
I think you might be experiencing some out of phase thing right now.
What was that? Print Smart? You remember Print Smart? Like
I remember all that stuff, but I'm not getting all happy about it.
That was a great time. All right. Well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to talk some tech time history, with over now 250 weekly broadcasts, show 250 today. You can go to our website at techtimeradio.com to watch our video, podcast, and blog information. We're going to head out to a commercial break. When we return, we have the Mark Mumble Whiskey Review. See you after this.
Attention, all geeks and pop culture enthusiasts. Get ready for the ultimate celebration of everything geek at Geek Fest West Game Expo, July 18th through the 20th in downtown Everett, Washington. Join us for 3 thrilling days packed with cosmic cosplay, gaming tournaments, retro movies, and a street fair brimming with unique vendors. From the innovative Geektopia Vendor Hall to the Galactic Time Warp showcasing beloved film classics, including Ghostbusters, The Wrath of Khan, and our special 40th anniversary showing of Goonies. There's something for everyone. Plus, participate in interactive events, from keynote speakers each day to special guest artists. Tickets are on sale now. Secure your spot for this epic celebration at geekfest.com. Get your badges from one-day passes to VIP options and don't be left out. Visit geekfest.com. Geekfest West, the biggest gathering of geek fandom in Snohomish County.
And now for Mark's
Oh, wow. We're going into the way back machine
by
there.
Story Coffee.
Yeah, I haven't heard that
Visit
one in a while.
storycoffee.com.
All right. Okay. There you go, Mark.
Retro Day.
It is.
Too bad it didn't match what today is.
Uh-oh, what's today?
April 29. Today is Poem in Your Pocket Day.
Poem in your pocket.
So where's your poem in your pocket?
I don't really have a poem in my pocket.
You don't?
I do not.
P-O-E-M or P-O-M-E?
P-O-E-M.
Okay.
Now, we celebrate today to encourage people across the United States to express themselves through poetry. Individuals are encouraged to write their own poetry, perform their own work, or create their own art inspired by poetry.
Okay, what's your favorite poem?
I happen to have a poem in my pocket.
Oh, because of course.
what a
He has.
nerd.
It's,
I celebrate today.
Oh, all right. So I don't know what we need to do with
Well,
that.
I
but
walked
that's-
into that one.
Yeah, you
that's right.
did. Thank you,
Man,
Mike.
I got to scrape the stuff off my shoe now.
So this is called Benchmark Foolproof, a real man's pour.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Now, is this a real poem or is this an AI created?
I was thinking something like from Thomas or something like that, but you're going to whip out some kind of
Okay,
weird...
let's listen to the poem. What
All
do we
right,
have for the
you
poem?
ready?
Yep.
Nathan Mumm talks tech with flair, yet spills his dram clumsily through the air. Mike Gourdet, the tech shrink guy, still cannot diagnose why his glass runs dry. While Benchmark stands up foolproof strong, these two just babble all day long. They swirl, they sniff, they talk real tough, yet one small pour's already enough. So here's to real bourbon, bold and neat, while Nathan and Mike admit defeat.
He just bagged us out,
wow.
man. He bagged us both out.
There's a shot.
All right. This is pretty good.
And death shall have, what is that? And death has no dominion.
So did you ChatGPT that?
It was a combination between me and Chet.
Okay, so that's how I did some poems with to my wife once, and I did exactly the same thing where I came up with the words and then I put them there.
Does your start with
Roses are
something
red?
like there once was a man from Nantucket?
No,
Okay.
but I wrote the actual thing and then I actually changed it.
All right, well, Benchmark Foolproof Bourbon is the strongest release in the Benchmark lineup.
Okay.
Bottled at 125 proof, it's labeled foolproof because it matches the strength at which the whiskey originally entered the barrel. After aging, water is added to bring it back to this original proof. This differs from barrel-proof bourbons, which are bottled at the natural proof the whiskey reaches after aging in the bottle.
Okay.
Now, regardless of water being added, this is a delicious brown sugar bomb with bold baking spices to round it out. The proof amps up all the classic bourbon flavors over the rest of the Benchmark line. Now, for $17, this is one of the better values on the market today.
This is decent. This is really decent. I mean, I could put this in with a mixed drink and have something. This is, yeah.
I mean, I love this bottle. You come over, I am serving you this all day long. I don't feel bad. I don't have to go to my top shelf.
Yeah.
And you're happy.
And it's
There you
actually
go.
good. Yeah.
And I resent the fact that you don't know why I can't diagnose why my glass goes dry.
No,
Because
why
I
is
know
it?
exactly why it goes dry.
All right. Well, so Whiskey Chris, what does he think about this bottle?
We actually cracked this bottle together. and
Okay.
we both gave it a thumbs up.
Both gave it a thumbs up.
We both enjoyed it. And I actually had a few other benchmark of the line that we tried it against. And this shines above all the other benchmarks.
Yeah, well, you know
now,
what
you've
you're
given the
getting
other
today.
benchmarks all thumbs up.
Yeah.
But and they're all good. But this one shines of the whole line.
It is. It is good. All right. Whiskey and technology, a great pairing. Just like Apogee and id, two great software companies. in the early 90s.
Oh my God.
There we go. What do you guys talk about? We're going a little retro today. We did the Commodore 64. I got to balance some positive excitement, old school stuff after Nick's been on for the show and just hammered through everything. So I'm trying to rebuild the audience so that they're not jumping off the cliffs of everything that's going on.
Then use cheese and burger, buddy.
Was that?
Cheese and burger.
That's right. That's
Coffee and donuts.
Well, it's the sandwich effect, right? You put stuff in there. All right, now let's move on to our technology fail of the week.
Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh, I failed. Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right. Our technology fail comes to us from Microsoft. Microsoft has announced that it has a problem with its machine learning models. Well, there's an error with Adobe emails in the Exchange Online profiles, and many users were having difficulty accessing Adobe's URLs and receiving warnings about potential malicious URL links. Now, Microsoft stated, we found that our machine learning model designed to protect Exchange Online from risky email messages was mistakenly flagging valid emails as spam due to the resemblance of the messages commonly associated with spam attacks. The results, of course, moved all of that into your spam folder. Some companies even automatically deleted those emails, never to come back from the ether again. Now, Microsoft did not disclose further details about the regions and number of users impacted. This incident has been categorized as a service issue, usually limited to a scale or impact. However, it is somewhat amusing that the company would choose to classify emails from a competitor as spam, leading one to ponder the implications of such a decision.
So what's Nathan's take on this? Was this done on purpose? They got caught and they fixed it? Or was it an honest mistake?
No, somebody had to have done this on purpose. Somebody had to have done this on purpose.
I thought it was their machine learning that did it.
No, somebody had to do. So they had to have some machine. There was some low-level employee that said, this is going to be really funny to do. And boom, that's what happened.
Wow. Nathan rips on Microsoft.
Yeah, Nathan just trying to
put this in the books.
All right. Okay. Now, you know what? Let's immediately go. Odie, can we go immediately into my Nathan Nugget?
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right. This is going to be the way that we have to end our show.
Are you going to rip on something? What are you ripping on today?
All right. Grounding sheets have surged in popularity on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Those are all
touted
over.
for the potential of enhancing sleep, alleviating pain, and improving the overall wellness of your sleep itself.
What the hell is a grounding sheet?
Okay. A grounding sheet is a sheet that you can purchase.
A
online.
sheet.
A bed sheet. A bed sheet, yes. Okay. And then what it does is it has an electrical cord. And then instead of you plugging it in and getting warmth from it, all it has is the ground of it, so that when you plug in the sheet, it's now grounded so that you can be safe and that there's this medicinal purposes of you planning.
What medicinal purpose does it satisfy?
Well, the idea of grounding is valid if you're in the electrical context of offering a safe pathway to have a current release the information and energy built up. Now, insufficient research indicates that grounding sheets provide very little health advantages. You get a sheet that has a plug on the end of it, and the sheet has to be grounded and connected to the plug. So you use a plug in your bedroom to plug this into. You don't get anything out of it. It doesn't heat up.
It goes into the little third hole on the bottom.
No,
right?
guess what? Most electrical outlets, the ground isn't for most houses that you have, isn't always grounded correctly. So the chances of you actually plugging it in and having the grounding work in your house is 50-50.
Yeah, let's just take that off the table, because we're talking about
what? What's a huge
so I have carpet in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I drag my feet. I get in bed. I'm full of static electricity. I lean over. I kiss my wife, and there's a big spark.
Okay.
From the static electricity, not just because.
The spark.
But this would get rid of it, right?
No.
Because it gets rid of the static electricity when I get on the sheets.
No, it does not.
It grounds me.
No, it doesn't ground you. No.
What it does is ground your wallet.
That's right. The trend explains again how pseudoscience can gain popularity online, with reports overshadowing the absence of actual scientific backing. Whoa. Before purchasing grounding sheets, it's advised to evaluate whether the claimed benefits that have been sold in the research are merely a viral wellness trend, or if they actually work. Think of this as the Great Tide Pod Challenge.
Or
remember that?
Or just do like Mike does.
What is that?
And don't buy anything off the internet from a TikTok video.
You don't buy anything.
Odie, have you ever bought anything off TikTok? Do you go there for your science?
No.
My science? No. And I've never bought anything off TikTok, but I am coming close.
What are you gonna buy?
Nintendo Joy-Con controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like $20.
So you saw an ad on
We're
Well,
talking
you can just
about
go
all
to
this.
Temu and buy the knockoff ones for like
Yeah.
$6.
Yeah.
Is
but
that
you
what
have
you
to
do?
pay for shipping.
You'd have to pay
So
for
the
I
shipping.
feel
ones
like
that
I
I'm
need a
looking
grounding sheet right now because I'm kind of floating around.
So
in
the ones
space.
that I'm looking at have free shipping for $20.
Oh.
And they have like
Pre-tariffed?
yes.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Temu's
So
gonna be in trouble.
I'm running on that.
Okay.
This is like YouTube ads.
What's that?
YouTube ads are completely just out there.
No, this guy tries to sell me gold every single time I go on a YouTube video. He's got a secret way of buying gold.
Yeah,
I believe
yeah,
him.
his secret way. Yeah, oh, we got a secret way. It's like that
99%
doctor guy that's so-
pure.
He talks
I love
about
those ads.
He
by
talks
the way.
about
The
olive
gold ads?
oil.
Yeah, because I wish I was on the other side of the screen of watching people be like, oh my God, I need to jump on this opportunity right now. You know?
Do you love those?
It's like
you
the
know,
modern day door to door
It's the
nice
ShamWow
salesman.
guy. It's
Yeah,
the ShamWow
it's
guy.
exactly.
Do you ever just turn on late at night, like the Home Shopping Network or any
Do you
of those
know-
type of
do you
deals?
know, I
I
used to
do
get-
that.
I
And
used
those
to
are
get-
so funny.
I used to get so mad when I was at late night TV and watching these things, these infomercials come on.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to realize that these work. These things work.
What do you mean? The channels itself, or
Yeah,
or what?
those big infomercials and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
these stupid 90-minute YouTube videos about olive oil and all this other crap.
So, Mike, do you have
They
a,
work.
Do you have a MyPillow too?
No, I don't have a MyPillow.
No,
But
actually,
you know,
I do
I'm
have
gonna,
a MyPillow.
I'm gonna have to get.
I knew you probably
I'm
did.
gonna have
I
to
got
get
one
my
given
everything?
to me from a relative.
And you're gonna have the sheets soon too.
I'm gonna have to get a
Is there a
MyPillow
MyPillow
to
sheet?
ground my sheets.
Are you going to go ground your sheets?
I'm gonna ground
'Cause
corn.
What have you put on this show that you have not bought in? Or bought?
I got a lot of stuff. Actually, now I have a shelf over here. Where you
yeah,
can actually
there's
see the
been
stuff.
so many things that you've bought and you still haven't received.
So he's gonna have the sheets. We can test them out.
The sheets. The sheets are there are sold out right now. You cannot find these grounding sheets.
Oh, so you
I'm
look.
dead- Yeah, I did.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. You cannot find them anywhere on social media or on Amazon. All the
I'm
grounded
gonna go
sheets
home
are
and invent something right now that's
Do it.
going to sell.
I'll be your
You know what you
first
should
buyer.
say? You know what? Dip your thumb in water or your fingers in water and put them into an electrical socket, and then that charge that you get from that is actually helping your.
No, I'm
your-
gonna
your-
do smart hats. That's
Smart
what I'm
hats.
gonna do. Smart hats.
Okay, what's that?
It's gonna be tinfoil.
You just put it on your head.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm gonna sell tinfoil smart hats.
All right.
It
okay,
protects
well.
your brains from all the
Takes
electromagnetic.
from 5E,
All right.
5G rather, not 5E.
Oh,
5G,
5G.
5G.
Protection. All
Yeah.
right. Let's go to our pick of the day whiskey tastings here.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
Do we really want to talk about Benchmark Foolproof, or do we want to read my poem again?
I did not want to hear your poem again. Let's talk about the pick of the day.
All right. So this is from
Don't go quietly
Buffalo
into
Trace.
the good night.
Straight bourbon, 4 years, 125 proof, and MSRP is $23, but you can find it like myself out there for $17.
All right. Thumbs up for Nathan. Mike, what are you going to do?
No, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. It was tasty.
It was really good. Can you just buy this at Wines and More or anywhere, or is this going to be a concern that more people are now listening to TechTime Radio and
You
they're
get
going to
one
now
free
buy
when
this?
you buy a grounding sheet.
Yeah, it depends on the state that you're in. Washington, where you're at, has had a problem with it, but it just came flooding into the market now. So you can find it. I mean, I got this at QFC, which is our local grocery store.
Okay, it was just
Yes,
on the shelf.
medication. See?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
This is good though. All right. Well, you know what?
So a first twist top for Nathan.
Yeah, I
No,
think I've liked a
Nathan-
couple other twist
Nathan's
tops.
got a bunch of twist tops.
Yeah.
So let's not.
For the value and for what it is, I think it's a great time. Now, we want to thank all of our listeners that join us on our show weekly. Make sure you put a nice comment. Just say, you know what, I really enjoy it.
Or put any comment.
Or any comment.
We're open for anything.
Enjoy Mike. I enjoy Mark. And you know, Nathan is just along for the ride. So that would be fantastic. Or anything else that you would like to say. Now, we want to thank everybody. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. We're going to see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list. for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/TechTime Radio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic